good day, everyone. Once again, it's the Ebitcoinics Academy, and it's Friday. Of course, today we are a bit late, but it's very normal. Cameraman, thanks for delaying us a bit. It gave us the room to actually do some other important things. Everyone who is on board with us, thanks you for joining. And as usual, everyone will stay muted. And once we are done or through with this session, we open up and unmute everyone so that you can also do your submission. And as we shared earlier, this session is going to be a complete review in our previous month, October, for us to see what happened in the month of October, some of the things that did happen with the cryptocurrency ecosystem. And hey guys, guess what? I'm live on Facebook at the moment, and I'm also live on YouTube. So you can share, and those of you that are basically going to miss this session, you would later on have access to this video on YouTube or on the Ebitcoinics TV channel, tv.ebitcoinics.com, and then you watch it again. So October has been a very exciting month for blockchain, the entire blockchain ecosystem, especially in Africa with bad news, businesses going down that are crypto related, and Europe too, things are coming in, like a whole lot of things, exciting things keeps on to happen, and that is very amazing. And all of us too knowing that October happens to be the birth month of Bitcoin, because October was when the Bitcoin white paper was actually released, and a lot of things do happen, and a lot of things, exciting things that, and then the most interesting thing that is constantly happening is the fact that the price of Bitcoin is not going in the direction people need it to be. Like everybody would want to see Bitcoin going to maybe 100,000 or 10,000, or that three sort of figure, whatever. Everybody would want to see Bitcoin growing, and it's not going that way. And people are kind of a bit disappointed as market-wise what Bitcoin is doing. And all of us, we've also got to realize that Bitcoin has proven itself to be a very stable currency for the past 3 months, like not going below and being so strong at its current base level, and that is very, very interesting as against other volatile currencies like the US dollar, like the Ghana cedi, and the Nigerian naira. We all know these currencies are doing so bad. So all of you that are watching, I want us all to clap for Bitcoin. Bitcoin has really done well. It has proven to be a very stable currency. And those of you that are disappointed because Bitcoin is not currently going up to the thousands and the hundreds of thousands of dollars you need, it's not going to happen. It's not going to magically happen. It's a transformation. It's a process that needs to be respected, and this is an entire ecosystem, and that is very important to you to know that Bitcoin is not only about the price. And I've always been very clear with this. Bitcoin is not only about the price, it is about what you do with the technology, the good thing the technology brings, the freedom, and everything that has to do with the technology itself. It must be respected, and that is the reason why we keep on doing what we're doing. And as you can see on my screen, we have a kind of a bulky definition for Bitcoin, which has to do with a software enabling, it's a software that is actually enabling a permissionless, trustless, censorship-resistant value transfer on a global scale, and at the same time, it has the qualities of great money, which is it is very durable, it is portable, it is fungible, and it is divisible and as well scarce. Just like we know gold is scarce, and that is one of the exciting things that give Bitcoin value. And we also have Bitcoin being actually a currency that is mostly designed for people that don't have access to what they can have, and at the same time too, you can, most of you can see my screen, and I want to show you something we have in my document folder, which has to do with some of our exciting codes we have and the definition. And over here it says Bitcoin was actually created to take the power of value away from the banks and corporations, decentralize it, and then give it back to the people. So all of you should clap to Bitcoin. Bitcoin is already 10 years old, and blockchain is also 10 years old, and that's a decade. The technology that is a decade already is not a joke. We should know that this means we have exciting times ahead, and we do have a very long way as well to go. So let's look at the month of October. I know we are in November. We failed to do this review as at last week. As a whole lot of things and other important topics that we need to discuss. But nevertheless, let's look at the month of October. What are some of the things that did happen that needs you to know that this technology is really something great you need to pay attention to, and at the same time to how is the technology going to change all of us, our lives in terms of financial literacy, our lives in terms of information, our life in terms of equal accessibility to data. And with that, we have lots and lots of things we are going to discuss over the week that did happen on top of Bitcoin, and that is the more reason why we are having this session of the webinar. And in October, we realized that Korean finance minister actually approved banks working with cryptocurrency exchanges. Earlier, we were all very much aware that Korean government was kind of abusive. Using the word abusive means I mean it. They were literally trying to stop people from getting involved with this thing openly. But for them to come out after studying this technology, the trend, and everything that has to do with the technology itself, and they are proving crypto exchanges in the country to work freely with the banks is so amazing. Unlike in our countries here in Africa, where if you are even running a crypto business, your banks don't want to freely do business with you. They think they would want to limit you for any reason. And even in the US, they work with the banks freely. And those of our countries that are not responding to technologies like this, we are the same individuals that don't do the right thing, and we get left out. And at the end of the day, the technology becomes bigger than our problems, what we really thought it would happen, and then we can't do anything about it rather to embrace it. So I think I will urge all the leaders, especially the government officials in this country, to take a very good look at the blockchain technology and do the right thing. If countries like Korea, Germany, the United States, in China, all of these, India, they are working, though India is kind of currently also in a Confucius states where the banks and those that are involved with cryptocurrencies are actually working on things around. But there are amazing countries. Even in Africa, we have Kenya, and it's so brilliant to see nations like this, including Ethiopia, actually embracing this technology. So we urge the countries of this country, especially Ghana, Nigeria, for them to wake up. And we also heard a statement from the Iranian government, one of their generals, I think is an army personnel, and then he said they think Iran would very soon turn to cryptocurrencies so that they can avoid loss of tax invasion and all that. And I don't know, that's kind of political, but why are they trending into cryptocurrencies? Is because of some of the freedom that this technology provide to all of us. And also in Venezuela, there are two major news that actually hit Venezuela as at October. First has to do with 6 exchanges, okay, listing their coin, the Petro coin, on and those exchanges include the Banca exchange, we have the AFX trade, we have the Cave, we have the Amber's coin, and then we have the Cryptia or whatever. And these are all exchanges that are listing a national currency. I mean, a national currency, the Petro coin is a national currency like specifically designed for Venezuela, and this means the currency is being welcomed by the general public, and this is so amazing. Venezuela currently is or has been hyper or overinflated, whatever you can call it, close to over 146,000%. $1 is like millions and millions of Venezuelan local currency, and that's too bad. And they are turning into cryptocurrency. Why? Because they think maybe it has something unique to offer. And we also heard that Venezuelan citizens are going to actually use the Petro coin to renew their passport. I mean, let's say you are a Venezuelan and it's time for you to renew your passport. Instead of you to pay with the US dollar or the local currency, now they are saying you can use the digital crypto Petro to use for that payment. And that, I think, is so amazing and very brilliant for a country like Venezuela to do. And we also had a news. Somebody actually did a review on top of all everyone in the United States and what they are doing or what they think about crypto and fiat system. And almost at the end of the review or the research, 60% of Americans are actually thinking that crypto should be treated as fiat in most of their political campaigns. Like whatever the US dollar can do, they want crypto to be able to do that. And that is something serious to see that a nation with over 60% of its population talking about this technology, being ready for this technology and wanting to be a part of this technology is so amazing. Right, and that is something we need to discuss. And even just a couple of days ago, we heard that one of the Congress or whatever in politics in the U.S. I want to see if I can remember the guy's name, but he happens to be a Bitcoin supporter, right? And now he is going into politics. He wants to be a governor of one of the states in the U.S. And imagine somebody that has invested almost 90% of his life promoting and investing in Bitcoin and supporting this technology, and now he wants to go into politics. That is so amazing. This is something that needs to be addressed. And we also had a news all over from Tanzania, and their government is actually looking into blockchain. Well, I don't know what they want to do, but they're actually studying. They are using IT to study the blockchain use cases for whatever purpose. We don't know whether they are going to implement blockchain in the agri sector or whether they are going to implement blockchain in the financial sector or the health industry. We don't know. But to see a country like Tanzania studying blockchain and trying to make use of the technology, it's really it's disheartening to see a country like Ghana not doing anything about it, or even Nigeria not doing anything about it. This is Tanzania we are talking about, and why are they taking the lead? And also, we all know that Mr. Sir Richard Branson is one of the early investors of the Bitcoin technology, the entire blockchain ecosystem. He was one of the early investors, he himself, and then the Bill Gates and those guys behind Google. And then guess what happened? Now, just in October, he launched with his company, the Virgin Groups. They actually launched what they call the Virgin Money Spot. It's actually a peer-to-peer payment application that is decentralized, using just the same peer-to-peer algorithm Bitcoin is using. And why are they switching? Why are they paying so much attention to this decentralized technology? It means it has a whole lot to offer, and we cannot ignore. And this is not the time for us to ignore technologies or innovations like this. Right now, as we are speaking about blockchain technology, always trying to get people to get to know about this technology, use it to even help their own lives. As we are doing it, the world is moving so fast to the extent that right now, as we speak, AI is also taking over. AI, I mean artificial intelligence, and with this, machine learning is also coming in. So all of these technologies are evolving, and they are coming in with speed. They've been accelerated with so much energy, and they are taking over almost every aspect of our lives. Now we have robots doing what human beings are doing. We have machines taking care of things that you could have been paid for, and machines can do it much more better than you are doing. So why are we not paying attention? And if you are not paying attention to blockchain technology, how are you going to understand a technology like artificial intelligence, to even understand machine learning? These are the technologies of this century, and it is very, very important everyone pays attention to that. And we also have MacLeod law firm based in Canada accepting Bitcoin for legal services. And they started this in October, just October. Now, why is it that we have to do monthly review with all of you here, and we just discuss some of the things we've been talking about every day? It is just a reminder for you to know that, hey, what we are doing is really something crazy, and it's really worth your time, and you should invest your time in a technology like this because you have to be a part of it. Now, imagine a law firm, a complete law firm in Canada, okay? And you can check online on the MacLeod law firm. It's a very massive or a huge establishment that legally into anything that is legal. So imagine a law firm like this saying, hey, okay, we can handle your situation or your issue or your cases, and you pay us in Bitcoin. Imagine what that means. And Canada, I respect Canada a lot because they embrace technology and run with it very fast. In fact, there are a lot of people that are mining Bitcoin personally in China, in Canada, and now as we speak, this is also ongoing, where a law firm in the country is basically accepting Bitcoin as a payment for whatever service they are rendering, and that is very massive. We should appreciate things like that. And we also had news from a technology firm that is MTech, which is Emergent Technology Holdings. They have created a blockchain system that tracks gold from mine to the storage facility. Imagine lots of the corruption, some of the corruption that do happens in the gold industry, whereby some companies can mine gold. They want to lie to the governments of those countries they are mining from, that hey, we didn't get this X amount of gold, or we had this X amount of gold from whatever operation we did. And now MTech is saying, okay, how about the blockchain is immutable, isn't it? And it's one of the safest way to store data. So how about we move our business on top of the blockchain? And they have successfully created a system that tracks every gold you mine, or there are companies they are subscribed to mine to they actually keep those minerals in their storage facilities, and that's a big deal. Why do you think they are doing this? The moment any information or data actually enters on top of the blockchain, nobody can ever do anything about it. Nobody can ever take that away from where it is. So it means they are going to have a very good business. The business is going to be very transparent, and nobody is actually going to say otherwise at the end of every mining operation, and that's a massive deal. We also had Google trend analysis shows Bitcoin and Ethereum keywords such as the lowest point in 18 months due to crypto exchanges experiencing reduced trading activities. That is very true. You know, this was the opposite as at October last year. As at October last year, when the price of Bitcoin was, you know, gradually from 6,000 to 7,000, targeting the 19,000 peak it actually did, there were lots and lots of massive searches around Bitcoin. Everybody trying to know why the price of Bitcoin is going up, or why he or she should invest in Bitcoin, or why they should, you know, be a part of the technology. And this year, October, we realized the price of Bitcoin has been so stable, and it makes a whole lot of us happy. And at the same time, they stay, because some are wanting the price to go so that they can use it to do their market, whatever market purpose they have, we don't know. But if you are in love with the technology itself, you care less about the pricing. And Google trend has actually also proven that not everyone is now searching about Bitcoin and Ethereum. But imagine right now the prices of Bitcoin start to skyrocket again, and then you will see this thing will be boosting. And over the year, we saw earlier Facebook blocking and Google blocking Bitcoin related ads, and now they've resumed back to business, you know, trying to confirm it. And these are some of the things that, in fact, they are the reasons why this analysis, or the analytics on top of Bitcoin and Ethereum keyword went down. Because initially, if you are not allowing people to advertise, and there's no massive advertisement going on top of Bitcoin or around the Bitcoin ecosystem, how do you expect people to actually go, and then now they say, I want to learn or search about Bitcoin? But now things are coming back to normal. So guys, you should be very normal, you should feel normal, and it should be a part of the process. And we also had Ukrainian government announcing to they are planning to actually legalize cryptocurrencies officially, like from Ukraine. Their government is actually they announced that they are planning to actually legalize cryptocurrencies. Why do you think? If Ukraine wants to legalize cryptocurrency, who is Nigeria not to do that? Who is Ghana not to do that? So our leaders urge you to start waking up, and you pay attention to the technology that is happening. And then one of the exciting things that did happen was with blockchain.com. Blockchain.com is actually doing an airdrop where they are sharing over $125 million, and that is not an October related news, but it's something I just need to share with you. Those of you that have wallets with blockchain.com, I think they are doing an airdrop on top of Stellar, and when you have an account, you could be somebody who enjoys some of the $125 million. Why are they doing this? They are just doing it so that a whole lot of people could get the opportunity to be a part of the blockchain ecosystem. So guys, these are some of the things we wanted to share with you, and it has actually been an exciting month as October, and knowing that a technology we've been trying to get the word out to everyone anywhere in the world. It's already 10 years old, and we still have a long way to go. That makes it very exciting and much more interesting. So I don't know if anybody has a question. I saw a question popping up on Facebook. Somebody was asking, how do I invest in Bitcoin? I think this is not the right time for me to answer that. Basically, you could find other ways to communicate with us, and we will try to answer that. And already we have lots of videos that already explains how you could get involved with Bitcoin. Today, as I said, we were doing a review on top of the month of October, and probably at the end of the month or first week of December, we could do for November as well, just as we have been doing almost every month when it ends or when a new month starts. So guys, thanks so much for being with us. Don't forget to actually follow us, subscribe to our YouTube channel at Ebitcoinics, and then follow us on Facebook, Twitter at Ebitcoinics, and Instagram. Share this video with those that you think should get to know about this. Let's learn the ecosystem together, and your suggestions, your comments could also flow in, and you guide us if we are doing the wrong thing. But before I sign off, if anybody is having any question or any submission you would want to also do on top of this session, you could just raise your hand, or meet you, and then you ask or you also submit before we leave. Or maybe the best thing is for me to unmute everyone on top of the call. We have a message coming in. It says the name of the crypto enthusiast, yes, who joined the government is called Gavin Newsom. Thank you so much for that. That was a head up. I really appreciate it. I was trying to recall the name. It really skipped me. And then we have Ebitcoin actually giving us the name. Thank you so much for that. We really do appreciate it. Who else is having any submission? Any question or any submission before we sign off? If there is no one, then I would want to end this session with you. See you next week as usual. Every Friday is 4 o'clock p.m. or let me say 4 o'clock should be 3 p.m. in Nigeria. Yes, because in Ghana we lead Nigeria 1 hour. So if anything, every week we would be meeting. And then until then, see you next week, God willing. Enjoy your weekends, everyone. Yeah, wherever you find yourself, you should enjoy your weekend.